If you are a fan of another team and your coach is not out there doing everything that Kirby Smart is doing right now, you are already losing. There's no coach, no program better positioned to take advantage of what's happening right now in college football than the University of Georgia. With the shifting landscape of college football, Kirby Smart is taking no prisoners. He's offering no quarter, and he's making every move to put his foot on the throat of college football and take full advantage of the winds of change and improve his program in every way possible, regardless of the mechanism. Nobody in college football works harder and is more relentless than Kirby Smart. The work never stops. And it's almost like Georgia not making the college football playoff this year is a huge blessing in disguise. Georgia, as good as things are sitting here right now, not the reigning SEC champion and not the reigning college football playoff national champion. Georgia has work to do. Georgia has recalibrated where they are. Not their process, not their goals, just where they are right now. And that is not currently on top. In 2025, Georgia could be about to salt the earth on the recruiting trail. The state of Georgia is loaded with top prospects for the class of 2025. And if you look around, just stay inside the top 10. You could take it as far as you wanted to, but let's just stay at the top 10 and look at the top 10 prospects in the state of Georgia for 2025. And let's talk about where Georgia stands with each of them. Let's start with Julian Lewis, top pro-rated quarterback in the country for the class, just reclassified in. So now he is the number 1 rated player in the 2025 class. Georgia's in good position. Elijah Griffin, we just talked about him, longtime Georgia lean, 5-star plus defensive lineman. Georgia's in really good shape with him. He was just in town, loves it every time he comes back. And he said that Kirby Smart said something this week when they were there on their visit that really got his attention. And that was, you're a top flight recruit. You're considering Georgia. You tell me you've got options. Well, Georgia has options too. And if you don't want to come here and work, don't come. Now, that's not the kind of thing that you would think a head coach trying to lure the top players in the country to his program might say. We've got options. We're in the same boat you are. You'd think they might be, cozying up to him a little bit. Not here. Not this time. But that approach was the thing that got Elijah's attention. He was like, man, I love that. I love that because I know what we're about here. Let's keep going down the list. The number 3 prospect in the state for 25, Justice Terry, already a Georgia commit, 6'5", 270, 5-star player, already a Georgia commit. Zayden Walker, 4-star here according to Rivals, 5-star according to some of the other industry rankings. Longtime Georgia lean. Georgia's in great shape with him. The top 4 players in the class of 2025 here in the state of Georgia, Georgia would be in really good, be considered to be in really good shape for all of them. Oh, let's look at number 5. Elias Williams, he's already a Georgia commit. Another playmaking tight end out there. The top 5 players salt the earth in this class if they choose to. Jonte Gilbert out of Atlanta. This past weekend's visit left everybody in Athens thinking that now Georgia's in really good position for him as well. Usman Kroma. Georgia's in on him. Big time running back out of Lee. You got to expect he's going to get some hard pursuit from the Dogs as this year rolls along. London Merritt, Georgia's in on him. Mason Short, the number 9 player in the state, formerly now an Alabama commitment, has been projected to land with the Georgia Bulldogs here in 2025. Josh Petty comes in at number 10. Georgia's still in on him as well. Out of those top 10 players here in the state of Georgia, let's do the math. Let's count them up real quick. The first 5, for sure. 6, 7, 8. 8 out of the top 10 players in the state for 2025. Georgia would be considered either already having these players' commitment or in very, very good position to land it. Friends, that is incredible. I don't care how you cut it. In one of the most talent-rich states for high school football in the United States of America, in a year that is absolutely loaded, Kirby Smart has the Georgia Bulldogs as the favored position for at least 8 of the top 10 players on this list. Will they get them all? I don't know. It's a long way to signing day. But the fact that they are in position with so many top-tier players, knowing that they can still recruit nationally to fill gaps where they need to, that's just not fair. It just doesn't seem fair. If you're not a Georgia Bulldog right now, you are crying in your Wheaties. Jakeem Stewart becomes the new number 1 player in 2026. This last spring, Jakeem Stewart was in Athens for G-Day. The quote that came out of that visit was when Jakeem Stewart said, "This is Georgia's generation." The number 1 player in 2026. Seems like he has a pretty good feeling about the University of Georgia. You check out his social media, he's buddy-buddy with the likes of Jalen Carter. At the Dome, not at G-Day. At G-Day, he was hanging out with Travon Walker, all those other first-round draft picks. No, he was hanging out with Jalen after the SEC championship. After the Dogs had just pulled down another trophy. Will he be a Bulldog? I don't know. But the fact that Georgia is right there, and we know how he feels about Kirby Smart in this program and what they do along the defensive line as far as producing NFL draft picks, you have to think that Georgia's odds are pretty doggone good right there. Georgia, under Kirby Smart, is in position to absolutely take over college football. The sand is going to shift. But as far as Athens, Georgia, and Kirby Smart are concerned, that program is not built on those shifting sands. That program is rock solid. We are entering into the generation where these players that are coming up, like Jakeem Stewart, the number 1 rated player in 2026, he knows this is Georgia's generation. Again, this has nothing to do with what happened at Alabama a week ago. This is about Georgia. This is about Kirby Smart, his program, his process. Because that's all that matters. When you get to the heights that Georgia and Kirby Smart are at right now, you are not worried about what's happening in the rear view. You are not punching down. You are taking on all comers. It's well known that Kirby is a little paranoid, is one way to put it. But I can't blame him. This is a zero-sum game. This is not a game. And Kirby Smart is not playing around. And frankly, he gives zero damns how you, me, anybody outside of Dog Nation feels about it. He loves the University of Georgia. His goal every day is to make the University of Georgia the very best that it can be, to make his program the very best that it can be. And he will not stop until he does that. I'll say it again. If you are a fan of another team and your coach is not out there doing everything that Kirby Smart is doing right now, you are already losing. You feel however you want to feel about that. But that's your reality. The monster that Kirby Smart has built in Athens grows stronger by the day. It gets louder and more powerful. And there is no end in sight. Kirby Smart is relentless. He will not stop. No retreat. No surrender. No quarter given. I, for one, am here saying, hell yeah, Kirby. Go get them. How about them fucking dogs?
Told him, how about them fucking dogs? That's what I told him.